Listen up.
This just in.
All the gossip. The Rumor Report.
Gossip.
With Angela Yee.
It's the Rumor Report.
The Breakfast Club.
Well, rest in peace to Frankie. That's Keyshia Cole's biological mother. She passed away on her birthday. You know, she had a long struggle with addiction, and according to Keyshia Cole's brother Sam, he told TMZ that Frankie overdosed at her Oakland home on Sunday, the same day that she was celebrating when she apparently took drugs while partying, and she had relapsed and what they said was a long, hard-fought journey to sobriety. So we want to give our condolences to Frankie's family.
Absolutely. Sending healing energy to the family, and that's traumatic as hell. You hitting someone up to wish them happy born day and then end up having to say R.I.P. Thanks.
Right, and you know, she was 61 years old, and last year she had a huge benchmark, 60 days sober. Everybody was very proud of her at that time, but unfortunately she did relapse, so we want to give, again, rest in peace and sending some love. All right, now let's talk about the Billboard's U.S. Moneymakers top paid musicians of 2020, according to Billboard. Now, they said that normally when touring is in full bloom, a lot of the heritage rock stars, country artists, and jam bands dominate the list because of concerts. But in 2020, hip-hop was really strong because artists have a very strong streaming game. So that's why 6 hip-hop artists actually made the list into this year, and Drake, Youngboy, NBA, and Lil Baby actually placed in the top 10 of those money makers.
So the criteria for the money they made last year is just streams and merch, I guess, maybe?
Well, they're saying that normally you look at revenue streams, touring income, all of those things. This is Billboard.
Yeah, so what was it for last year, though, since there was no touring?
So, I mean, yeah, it still is that, but because touring was low, when you account those numbers, it's not as high.
Gotcha.
Because there was not any touring happening, right? So they said last year, you know, usually touring makes up about 75 to 80% of your income. Last year, it accounted for 20% of artists' take home.
So who else? Drake, Youngboy, Lil Baby, who else? Who's the other 3?
All right, so who do you think is number 1 on the list, if you had to guess?
Is it a rapper or just in general?
It's Taylor Swift.
Oh.
Yeah, she was number 1 on that list. Number 2 was Post Malone.
Okay.
Number 3 was Celine Dion. All right. Number 4 was the Eagles. Billie Eilish was number 5. Drake was number 6. He made $14.2 million. And Queen, the band Queen, was $13.2 million at number 7. The Beatles, number 8. Youngboy NBA was number 9 on the top 10. And then Lil Baby was number 10.
I just want to know the rappers.
You don't care about that?
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Who was the other 3? You said it was 6 rappers, right?
Well, yeah, they made like the top 30. But for the top 10, those are the rappers that made the top 10 list.
Okay.
All right. Youngboy makes a lot of money off of streaming.
Does.
And you know what else he makes a lot of money off of? Merchandising.
He does.
All right, and The Weeknd, by the way, was number 11 on that list.
It's a shame that like radio don't play NBA Youngboy. Like I would think that, you know, being that NBA Youngboy is one of the biggest artists out here and has been for a while.
Yep.
Radio would play him.
Eminem was number 14. Lil Uzi Vert was number 15.
Okay.
Yeah, so Bad Bunny was number 21. Future was number 22 on that list.
A lot of streaming.
Yeah, and the Baby made it to number 17 on the list. So they're all in that top 20.
Okay.
All right, now let's talk about Prince Harry, since we're discussing money. Guess how much he's getting for his memoir?
Too much. How much?
If you had to guess.
$10 million.
About 5.
$20 million up
Goodness
front.
gracious. Up front, great.
Up front
Gracious.
to publish his memoirs. Now,
They'll never make that money back.
he's doing it with Penguin Random House. I don't know. They gave Barack and Michelle Obama a $65 million book deal, that same publisher. And they said he's been secretly writing this memoir for nearly a year. And now he sold it. So they're saying that his co-writer, power ghostwriter, is getting at least $1 million as an advance.
Wow.
That's a lot of damn money.
That's a lot of money. And he has to sell a lot of books to make that money back.
Yeah, well, I feel like they could.
I don't. That's a lot of money.
Because think about this internationally. You're just thinking here.
That's true. That's
if you
true.
think about in the UK,
Even
they're
internationally.
obsessed with the royal family.
100%.
And this is something that's never happened before. And think about what a big deal it was. This is the first time you'll get like a glimpse inside of that. I think if you just think about in the UK what it's going to be like for them, it could make
Still
that
got to
money
sell
back.
a lot of books to make that money back. A lot. And not only to make the money back, for you to start making money, you know. If you care about the royalties.
If you
But I
care.
mean, when you
Yeah,
got
if you
$20 million
He
up
got
front,
$20
you
million,
care.
he'll be all right.
Yeah.
All right, now Joshua Jackson is talking about his wife, Jodie Turner-Smith. Now, you know Jodie Turner-Smith from Queen and Slim. She's the star from Queen and Slim. And she actually proposed to Joshua Jackson. He's from Dawson's Creek. And here's what he said on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon.
Did you guys always know that you were destined that you were going to get married?
I knew the moment she asked me.
She asked you?
She asked me, yeah. On New Year's Eve, we were in Nicaragua. It was very beautiful, incredibly romantic. We're walking down the beach, and she asked me to marry her.
She just said, will you? Yeah. Wow.
No, there was like a preamble. There was a lead up to it.
Did you know that it was going to happen?
I did not know, but she was quite adamant, and she was right. This is the best choice I ever made.
Who's that?
That's Joshua Jackson from Dawson's Creek. He's married to Jodie Turner-Smith, who's the star of Queen and Slim.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and he's white, she's black, by the way. Just FYI.
I had no idea who Joshua Jackson is, but go ahead.
Right, so he was on Jimmy Fallon, and he said after taping the interview, thanks for having me on the show and giving me the opportunity to clear up some misconceptions about my wedding proposal.
Yeah, it's hard to know any Jacksons who weren't Joe's kids. You know what I'm saying? Never heard of the guy. But
Well, y'all
congrats to
probably
him.
didn't watch Dawson's Creek, I guess.
No.
All right, well, that is your rumor report. I know who he is because he's married to Jodie Turner-Smith,
Oh, okay.
and we see pictures of them all the time.
All right. All right. Now we got front page news. Next, what we talking about?
Yes, let's talk about, for everybody over 2 who's going to school, they are recommending that you wear a mask even if you are vaccinated. We'll tell you who's saying that, and we'll tell you some more about what's happening with this pandemic. It's not over.
All right. We'll get to that next. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.